dramatic movement sweeping across the country. It began, I think, as long as 20, nearly 30 years ago, after the death of Stalin, at the end of the 50s, and has gathered pace through the 60s and particularly in the 70s. And more people are converting to the Baptist Church as well and to the Pentecostals, but also to the Orthodox Church. And this is something which is not only unexpected from the point of view of Marxist-Leninist ideology, which simply has no room within it for admitting that a religious revival of any kind is possible. So they blame it on the West, and organisations like Keston College, which is subversing anti-communist organisations using religion as a cloak to subvert the Soviet people. They have to say that because otherwise they have to admit that it's homegrown, and that's ideologically impossible. So they're in a bit of a cleft stick there. But it's not only something unexpected from the point of view of Marxism-Leninism, it's something also unexpected from the point of view of Russian history and Russian culture within intellectual circles. Because, again, as Michael touched on this morning, over 100 years ago, the bulk of the intelligentsia turned away from the Orthodox Church, which they regarded as stuck in the past, uncreative, with no fresh ideas, subservient to Tsarism, and not offering a way forward for the future. And they turned their backs on it, and they looked for other means. They looked principally to the West for their ideas, and to see what direction their society might develop in. And so the move back to the church now meant the Russian, parts of the Russian intelligentsia, the significant parts, is a major change, an unexpected development, even within their own history. Now, how does all this renaissance, this growth within the Orthodox Church on the eve of its millennium manifest itself? Well, in quite a variety of ways. I've mentioned discussion groups, study groups. These have mushroomed and grown over the last few years. Most of them we don't know anything about at all, for fairly obvious reasons. Because the one or two about which we do know, about which we've read, about which there's been publicity, the members of those have been hounded, persecuted by the KGB, served terms in labour camps and psychiatric hospitals. So it's fairly clear that other people involved in such groups would want to keep a very low profile. But we do know that there are many of them meeting. Having been drawn to the church, they go, of course, to worship services. But they don't find that all their questions could be answered there. The priests are restricted in what they can say. And they have so many questions, so many things they want to know about their new faith. There are hardly any books that they can read. They don't have even the rather vague and perhaps distorted idea of Christianity that people in this country absorb, whether they want to or not, through school, perhaps through television, perhaps through reading. They ask the most basic questions when you meet them about Christianity and Christians in other parts of the world. They're eager to know. But they have limited means for finding out, and so by meeting together they can learn, they can discuss, they can build one another up in their faith, especially when times are difficult. There is samizdat also. Samizdat meaning literally self-published literature. That's a Russian word which is caught on. Samizdat, it would be in Ukrainian, but samizdat has almost, not quite, entered the English language now, meaning documents, usually typewritten, sometimes handwritten, which circulate from hand to hand, and which form a means of information which is not censored. It's something fresh, it's something untrammelled, it's something that you don't read in Pravda. Even now, Pravda, which I read every day, has changed quite a lot recently, but you still need samizdat to supplement it, to get at the truth, and to get at people's real opinions and views about life. You find it in poetry too. The name is Irina Ratushinskaya, who was finally able to emigrate from the Soviet Union just over a year ago with her husband, is well known. And her poetry, which I find very moving, is of religious imagery and of her very clear faith in God. There are countless poets like her expressing their faith in this way. And again, how do you stop poetry? How do you legislate against people expressing their thoughts, their views and their faith through poetry? In Irina's case, of course, they tried to stop it by locking her up and persecuting her almost to death. But even that, because of Western support, failed. How do you stop the thousands of other poets expressing their deepest beliefs? You find it in painting, too, in non-conformist art. And there are many artists who rebelled against the very narrow confines of socialist realism, try to express their own feelings, their own views in their art. And after a good deal of trouble, have, again with the help of Western public opinion, succeeded in some measure, not as much as they want, but in some measure, in getting their views their expressed through their paintings to others who are able to see them in a limited way at exhibitions. You find a lot of religious imagery, a lot of specifically orthodox imagery in those paintings. Some of those painters are not Christians at all, and their use of crosses or churches or whatever in their paintings is to express their self-identity as members of their nation, their feelings about their past, the destruction of their culture and their history. And this is something you find a great deal of on the fringes of the Orthodox Church. People for whom their culture is the thing and orthodoxy is a part of that. For some of them you can almost say it's their culture, that's their religion. But many more who go through that medium, perhaps by reading the works of their own writers of the past, Dostoevsky above all, but there are many others, if they can get hold of these authors, who will lead them into an understanding of Orthodox Christianity and will lead them to faith. And all this is going on in a very diverse way. It's difficult to sum up, it's difficult to generalise, because after all, the path of any individual to Christ is unique. But one can, in a very general way, say that by many different paths people are being drawn to the church, drawn to the faith, and nothing on this earth can stop it. Now, I don't want to paint too rosy a picture. It's very important not to. It's very easy to say Christianity is gaining ground in the Soviet Union, communism is losing ground, everything's fine, it will take a bit of time, but there's basically nothing to worry about. Because even such a wonderful and precious thing as this religious renaissance, religious revitalization within the Soviet Union can be and has been distorted in a way that means that basically we in the West don't need to worry too much about what is happening there, because on the whole things are all right. We have had people, again the sort of instant experts that Michael was talking about this morning. We didn't use that phrase, but we have a lot of these instant experts, church leaders and others, who go to the Soviet Union for a couple of weeks and talk to a lot of people and official church and state spokesmen, and entertain in lavish hospitality, they make friends and so on, and they come back and they say, as we know, we didn't see any persecution. But they also say, why talk about persecution? That's negative. You should talk about the religious revival that's going on. We should be positive. Forget about the persecution. If there is still any left, it's on the way. It's the religious revival we want to look at. And that's what should colour our perceptions of the churches in the Soviet Union. And we've now started to get samizdat from Christians in the Soviet Union, saying, now look, just wait a minute, you're exaggerating. Don't overdo it. Oh yes, many people are coming to the churches, thank God for that. But don't think that all our problems are over just because of that. Don't forget to pray for us. Don't forget to support us and to help us. We need that as much as ever. And they said in one document, remember how long your Renaissance in the West took to mature before it could be written with a capital R. So don't think that all our problems are over after 10, 15, 20 years of people coming back into the churches. convinced the churches have in common the most basic perceptions about Christ, about their faith, about their church, about life. They have disagreements, very passionate ones, over the direction that things should develop in the future. They have disagreements over what their church should be doing, over what groups within the church should be doing at the moment to seize the new opportunities that seem to be available, and going on into the future. They have disagreements over the course that they would like their society to take in the future. They all agree that Marxism-Leninism is not the answer for the future. That's not a subject for debate. It's not interesting to talk about. What's interesting to talk about is what will replace it, and what people should work for as a replacement for it. And that's where the disagreements come in. And on these visits I had when, on many occasions I had wonderful experiences talking to people, with them telling me what they were doing, explaining their lives to me. I was also present at some quite fierce arguments when people were discussing these issues in a very passionate and very involved way. It wasn't theoretical, it's their lives, their freedom that is involved. And they say that if you have 3 Russians having a discussion about something, there will be 4 opinions being expressed. And that's certainly true of some of the arguments that I witnessed. Now, it would be easy to view this in a negative light. And people sometimes do and say, oh, well, these dissidents can't agree. And if the regime, if the Soviet regime fell tomorrow, they wouldn't know what to do and there would be chaos. There may be something in that, but I don't think the picture is quite so bleak. I think, in fact, that it's a very creative development. That you have different people who can think through and argue through a well thought out schemes as to how things should go in the future and what the future of their country should be. If you had the ideological, arid, stale monolith of Marxism-Leninism being opposed by simply another monolithic point of view with no disagreement, no flexibility, no room for innovation, that would be a stalemate. That would not be a positive situation. It would not offer much for the future. But when you have people who, after spending all their lives being taught one ideology, one view of life, and that only, and when those people all their lives have had no opportunity, apart from ones they've created for themselves, to hear other points of view, when after all that you have an intelligentsia which is seething with ideas and schemes, some of them harebrained maybe, but nonetheless, fresh, innovative ideas, that is a healthy situation, and that is a creative situation, and that augurs well for the future. So all these arguments and disagreements don't bother me as much as all that.